we are going to see BCNNineK versus SouLiTo, because Solitude was too long. Because for some reason Blizzard won't allow more than 8 characters. Let's go ahead and start this madness. I say, let's go ahead and start this on Entombed Valley. Welcome everybody. That's the wrong tab. Let's close that. And welcome everybody. We are going to have BCNNineK spawning at the top left and at the bottom right. We are going to have Solitude fighting. Gonna go ahead and be a Terran TVZ. Actually, I think a very difficult matchup for Terran, but that's just my own personal opinion. We're gonna see how these two players duke it out.
That definitely depends on how Terran decides to handle the situation. Normally mech is really hard for Zerg to kind of, because Zerg has to have like major micro to be able to kind of destroy mech. But yeah, bio is definitely hard for Terran to. Zerg can easily just come in with Banelings and kind of use Zerglings and kind of hold the army in place while Banelings come in. And that's just really, really hard to counter as Terran. So yeah, for some circumstances, Terran is definitely hard to kind of counter Zerg. So yeah, I agree.
Alrighty, happy to hear it. I think, not sure. We are going to see. SCV moving out across the map. It looks like he is almost not quite opting for the cross position scout. Gonna go ahead and scout his opponent second. That's as good as it gets.
Were you fixing to say?
I was, and then I remembered.
Okay. Nope, we didn't do anything. Nope, nothing happened. Yep, yeah, good save. Looks like. Yep, BCN is gonna go for that early expansion. It's kind of become common with him. Oh, that's weird though, because normally again with ZVT, I take my personally. This is just a personal thing. I take my pool before because I'm afraid, because I'm in bronze, that I'm gonna get 2-rexed. One of those rational fears. There we go. I can't speak. I don't know.
It's okay, man. I know the feeling.
Metagame.
Metagame, baby.
I do whatever.
Does what I want. Alrighty, homie G. Well, it looks like 9K is going to get a very, very late scout. Not opting for his Jones scout quite yet. Going to go ahead and put down that hatchery before pool. A bit of a risky decision, but I think it is going to pay off as SouLiTo is taking his expansion too. He wants to keep in part. SouLiTo had a judgment call to make. Either he goes ahead and plops down some more Raxes and punishes his opponent, tries to punish his opponent, or he tries to stay on par on the macro end.
Yeah. I think that's a very smart decision for SouLiTo, because if you did decide to go like 2 or 3 racks and you tried to just go ahead and end the game, if that failed, then you're screwed. But he decided, he thought, well, I'd rather be safer about it and just go ahead and get my expansion, because I know he's not gonna be able to pressure me that early. So I think great decision making on SouLiTo's part. 9K is just gonna go ahead and do his common build. You know, just get those 2 queens out, maybe a 3rd queen to start spreading creep. 4 Zerglings gonna be out just in case a Marine tries to come up and scout or do some damage possibly.
Damn right. Double gases going down simultaneously for SouLiTo. I love this. I really love seeing that. It's very, very sexy, very sexy, very sexy. We are going to see a very interesting placement for a bunker here. I'm really not exactly sure why this bunker is going here.
Well, it's pretty much to protect your ramp in your mineral line, but normally you would want to just seed out at the natural ramp. Maybe if you like put 2, that would probably be okay, but it's pretty much generally to protect this mineral line from being, the natural mineral line from being speedlinged, and to, if they're the ramp. And it also, if you see, it's kind of in between the mineral patch, so there's no way for more than like 4 Zerglings to be hitting that from each side at a time.
It does look like we are going to see the beginning of what's going to be a wall to go ahead and begin the ling proofing of this natural. This is a cute bunker position, because let's say his opponent wants to try to run up the ramp, he can go ahead and hopefully get that supply depot up on time and have the vision, so those Marines can go ahead and pew away. It looks like, are we going to see the 3rd coming down yet? We're not going to see a fast 3rd from 9K. I did notice in some 9K's games versus in PVZ, as EVP, he got an extremely fast 3rd, and it was really sexy to see. And it looks like we're not actually going to see that yet, which makes me think we may see a lot of roaches in the early game to give him the leg room to go ahead and get that drone count up.
Yeah. She's gonna handle TBC. Nowadays, due to that queen
Baby.
buff, you don't see a lot of Hellions in TVZ just because it's really hard. But if you can get these Hellions kind of around the queens, you can definitely easily just kind of get up in the mineral line and take out a couple drones, which I mean, Hellions are only 100, which is not a lot at all. It's kind of it's like a cheap way of just kind of going in and poking and then not losing too much on it. So it's just a really cheap harass. But if used properly and micro properly, this can do a lot of damage.
Yeah, we're actually not seeing any spine crawlers down on the base. These Hellions might be able to run right into the natural. We do see the we do see the standard wall. Oh, darn it! We do see the wall coming up now.
Damn it!
Now with these double gases, we are seeing a follow-up of Cloaked Banshees. This is a very common composition and mid-game transition. Very common in TVZ. It's harass-based composition.
It's very harass-based. Thankfully, don't know if he got God, there's like bread stuck in my throat. It's killing me. But luckily he did scout out that starport, so he does know there's probably going to be follow-up Banshees, which is just common for follow-up Banshees. So there's very nice place spying Spore Crawlers. No Sunkens though, so Hellions could make, but there's a 4-queen opening, so there's probably not going to be any really valid Hellion play, which is the reason we didn't see a Sunken right off the bat. Like you pointed out, you said there was no Sunken. That's because he went for a 4-queen opening, which means he doesn't need a Sunken. So,
Perfect,
you know.
excellent, man. I think you're totally right. You learn something every day.
On top of something. I have accomplished my goal in life. No creep spread so far, which is pretty much what these Hellions are doing, is denying any super far creep spread, and there goes the creep spread. Why? Well, they always they're like, oh, G-Dog's fixing the comment.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Make sure not to disapprove from G-Dog's masterful ways.
Let's make him look silly.
Yeah.
It's like, and and there's no way that he could go into Thor, and now he's starting Thor.
Right now, we should be seeing some Thor. Oh, there's the 3 Thor. Yep, never mind.
This creep spread is really fracking nice. This is really beautiful. A lot of APM going to it.
Roaches are pretty much the dead hard counter to, you know, like, they say queens are a good counter. Roaches are the counter. They are the cool kids in school whenever it comes to bullying Hellions. So that's very awesome. You know, like I said, Hellions are just some cheap way to kind of piss off a Zerg almost. And since there's nothing these Hellions can do anymore, except pretty much just be thrown into a late game composition.
Alright, so here we do have the Cloaked Banshees on the way, but there's the Overseer ready to go ahead and put his work in. This Cloaked Banshee possibly could take out a few creep tumors, but I don't think it would actually be worth the scans the more I think about it. It does look like 9K is going to be able to get his third up really safely.
Yep, and there goes 2 more Spore Crawlers. Yeah, this Banshee's not gonna be able to do much. He's fixing, she's fixing. If I'm gonna refer to it as a he or she.
Oh, Banshee, right. Yeah.
She is going to run out of energy soon, and it's just fixing to happen. So there's not much this Banshee can do. Once again, it's just one Banshee. It's not a huge investment. It's just kind of buying time. There's a lot of Hellions though. I'm not sure why. I don't understand why he's kept building Hellions. You know, I mean. If he can get up the ramp though, which he might be able to do, he might be able to kill off a couple drones, but that is a lot of Hellions, so...
Yeah, well, this composition, he is grabbing his third SouLiTo. This harassment composition is purely so he can get his third up and get the economy so that he can get that late game composition he always wanted, like a kid in a candy store as these mules plop down on the mineral patches.
He's just like, but Mom, why can't I? And the mom's like, no. And then he has to wait till he's older and he learns enough more. See, kids, this is why we work hard in life. See, look at that. I'm throwing in moral stories. Boom.
Moral support.
There we go. Oh, there goes that Hellion, or that Banshee. She is trying to do some work, but not getting denied. But this 4 Queens openings are getting very common. They're very deadly against Hellion and Banshee harass, which the more common Terran starts using Hellions and Banshees, the more common 4 Queen openings are, which is a very strong opening against Terran. It kind of denies early, really early pressure. So
Alrighty, so engagement coming down at the middle of the map. Looks like 9K is going to go ahead and grab his tower. Moving forward, will SouLiTo have the composition he needs to go ahead and deal with these roaches? I think they're a little misrallied. Not sure what they want to do. If they just want to poke and get some information.
Oh, this is a lot of speedlings.
A lot of
beautiful surround. It's a pretty decent surround though. Got all those units at the bottom of the ramp. These Marines are putting in a lot of DPS. These roaches are gonna have to back off, but since they do not have speed currently, he's just gonna sacrifice one or two just to try to save the bulk, and that's not gonna happen. Right now, he should just kind of attack, click back, and just do as much damage as possible. But you know.
Yeah, these roaches unfortunately really doing the walk of shame here as the 4th expansion for SouLiTo is going up. These expansions for SouLiTo, if you do remember in the past games that we saw of him when he got that silly cannon rush, he kept on with his expansions really nicely, really showing us that that if you just keep those expansions going in the background, you're gonna have the economy to fall back on.
Special tactics, I believe it's whenever if an opponent, like, I don't know, if it's like an opponent fails an attack, you expand. There's just like a long list of crap that you can do that White Raw's just like, well, do this, special tactics. And it works.
That's what I want.
You gotta expand behind attacks. You expand behind whenever an opponent fails an attack. But these investors are gonna be a huge just hit to these poor Marines.
Yeah, Marines, this is gonna be really delicate, I think. SouLiTo taking it upon himself to go ahead and move across the map, putting down, gonna go ahead and be the aggressor here. Gonna go ahead and engage on creep. Huge fungals going down, bringing these Marines to 1% health.
Two of those investors are gonna go down. There's no energy, but these siege tanks are putting in a lot of damage right now. 32 Zerglings are on the way. This army is gonna get easily cleaned up by 9K.
It looks like the Marines, DPS putting in so much damage. One or two fungals able to go down. No more investors actually on the field right now.
It's gonna be a really clutch moment. These Marines are just putting in so much DPS. Nice coming up from behind, and there's the GG by 9K.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that's exactly what she said.